One House Republican said, it's outlived its usefulness. No, that's what he said. Others said, no, don't boo, organize.
The president mocking this week those who say scrapping the minimum wage will help workers more than hiking it. So, Rich, I guess he's mocking you as well, because that's what you believe, right?
I think we should scrap it. Number one, we need to provide a more easily attainable bottom rung on the ladder for teenagers and other people who are desperate for jobs and need to learn work skills. But look, when you have an adult, particularly with adults with children, you know, it is tragic when people are working at the minimum wage, but that's a flaw of the education system, and it's a flaw of Obama's 2% growth economy. So a higher minimum wage would not solve bad education and a slow growth economy.
So, Rick, a job is more important than a minimum wage.
Well, look, I agree that raising the minimum wage will not solve our growth problems and all the things that Rich just said, but look, you know, there's just too many people out there who can't make ends meet. One thing that's interesting about this, you know, this whole argument over a federal minimum wage increase, the states have already taken it over, folks. You've got 8 states that have already passed laws themselves to raise the minimum wage. You've got 32 states that are going through the legislative process right now of doing it themselves, and 8 more where people are organizing to put it on the ballot. This is going to be done before the federal government ever gets to it.
Well, but Sabrina, so why should the federal government be doing it? I mean, one size, as we learned with Obamacare, one size does not fit all. The cost of living varies tremendously from one state to the other, or from one city to the other. Detroit versus New York, in fact, Detroit costs about half as much as what it costs to live in New York. So maybe the state should do it. Get the feds out of it.
Well, the Fed should definitely be out of it, but both, you know, Democrats are missing the larger point here, which is the only thing that's going to really help people is robust, you know, job creation and economic growth. Because the reason that people live in poverty is not because they're stuck in a low-paying job. It's because they don't have consistent paid employment. If you look at the number of people 16 and older who were in poverty last year, 67% of them did not work full-time. So this is a major problem, and I agree, of course, that we need to change our educational system, but this is a president who wants to sort of paper over the fact that he has a failing economy right now.
Well, and this is a president, EMAC, who wants fits-all solutions in a lot of things, and frankly, the states have been experimenting pretty well with this issue.
That's right. Nearly 20 states have minimum wages that's higher than the federal level. And to your earlier point, David, if you have a one-size-fits-all, if you have a national minimum wage, right, that is higher than the cost of living in some of these states, then companies there are going to have to either raise their prices on the goods there or fire people or not give entry-level jobs to teenagers who need those jobs.
All right, though I suspect John Tamny is one of those scrap-it-all people, right, as far as the minimum wage is concerned.
Yes, scrap it on the federal level and leave the states out of it also. As individuals, we should have the right to contract with businesses however we want. Now, the reality is the minimum wage doesn't impact most of us because most businesses will pay us much more than that to keep us around. But what it does do is serve as a barrier to entry for those who need work experience and who want to get a foot in the door so that they can attain higher wages. It's some of the cruelest legislation ever conceived by the political class.
Okay, by the way, we ended with John Tamny because Saturday, this day, is a very important day for John Tamny. You're getting married, John. Congrats. It's kind of scary, but hey, we'll invite your wife on next time. John Tamny, congratulations,
That's right.
my friend.
Wear socks.
He never wears socks, by the way. You wouldn't know that from this. 48% of Americans only have enough emergency